The history of tariffs imposed on the U.S. Throughout history, tariffs have been used as a tool of economic strategy and political leverage. Countries often impose tariffs in response to protectionist policies or trade disputes. The Smoot-Hawley Retaliation, 1930s. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act of 1930, enacted during the Great Depression, raised U.S. tariffs on over 20,000 imported goods. This protectionist measure aimed to shield American industries but backfired when U.S. trading partners retaliated. Canada, France, and Germany responded with tariffs on U.S. goods. Canadian tariffs targeted U.S. farm products such as fruits, vegetables, and dairy. This tit-for-tat approach deepened the global economic slump, shrinking international trade by 2/3 and worsening the Depression. It was one of the earliest examples of how protectionist policies led to worldwide retaliatory tariffs that hurt everyone involved. The Chicken War, 1960s. In the early 1960s, a trade dispute between the United States and Europe known as the Chicken War escalated. U.S. poultry was flooding European markets, especially West Germany, leading to European farmers demanding protection. In 1962, the European Economic Community, EC, imposed high tariffs on imported American poultry, aiming to protect their local producers. The U.S. didn't sit quietly. In retaliation, the Johnson administration imposed tariffs on European goods like Volkswagen buses, French brandy, and Dutch potato starch. While this chicken war didn't cause major economic damage, it highlighted how specific industries could spark international trade disputes. The U.S.-Japan trade disputes, 1980s. By the 1980s, Japan had become a dominant player in industries like automobiles and electronics, creating a growing trade imbalance with the United States. American manufacturers, particularly in the automotive sector, felt the pressure. As a result, the U.S. imposed restrictions on Japanese products, including voluntary export restraints, VERS. In response, Japan threatened to impose retaliatory tariffs on American goods like agricultural products. This era of tariff threats didn't escalate into a full-blown trade war, but it strained relations between the two nations, and trade negotiations eventually led to a resolution favoring mutual cooperation. The Steel and Aluminum Tariffs, 2002. In 2002, President George W. Bush placed tariffs of up to 30% on imported steel to protect the struggling American steel industry. This move triggered a backlash from major trading partners like the European Union, Japan, and China. The European Union responded swiftly, imposing retaliatory tariffs on U.S. exports such as oranges, motorcycles, and textiles. The tariffs were targeted at politically sensitive industries, including Harley-Davidson motorcycles, produced in the home state of key American lawmakers. Other countries followed suit, launching disputes at the World Trade Organization, WTO, which ultimately ruled against the U.S. The tariffs were lifted in 2003, but not before global relations were strained. The U.S. China Trade War, 2018. One of the most significant trade disputes in modern times was the U.S. China Trade War, which began in 2018 under President Donald Trump. The U.S. levied tariffs on Chinese goods worth billions, citing unfair trade practices, intellectual property theft, and a significant trade deficit. In retaliation, China imposed tariffs on American products valued at around $60 billion, targeting goods such as soybeans, cars, and chemicals. This move directly affected American farmers, who relied heavily on Chinese markets. The trade war escalated for months, with both nations imposing round after round of tariffs, impacting global supply chains and markets. It wasn't until the signing of a partial trade deal in 2020 that tensions eased, though many tariffs remained in place. U.S. and European Union tariffs, 2019. In 2019, a long-running dispute between Boeing and Airbus over subsidies led to another significant round of tariffs. The World Trade Organization, WTO, ruled that both the U.S. and European Union had violated international trade laws by subsidizing their respective aerospace giants. As a result, the European Union imposed tariffs on $4 billion worth of American goods, targeting industries like aircraft manufacturing, whiskey, and tobacco. This was a direct response to the U.S. imposing tariffs on European goods after a similar WTO ruling. The WTO rulings highlight how trade disputes over specific sectors can lead to broad economic consequences, affecting various unrelated industries. The ongoing impact of tariffs. From the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act of the 1930s to the modern-day U.S. China trade war, tariffs have often been a double-edged sword. While they can protect local industries, they frequently provoke retaliation, harm global trade relations, and impact everyday consumers. Countries use tariffs not just as economic tools but as political strategies. Understanding the history of these trade battles shows us how interconnected and fragile the global economy can be. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.